10, 9, ignition sequence start, 6.
Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. My name is Wack. Today is July 25th, and we've got a quick episode for you all to enjoy. We're going to start off with this update from ETH Staker, and they sent out this tweet saying scam alert 0x boost, and then there's a Twitter link, is not a real protocol, do not interact with it, it's a scam. Now 0x boost is a protocol that I mentioned on Rocket Fuel before on the May 24th episode, and it seems like they're up to their old tricks again. I don't know if they were ever taken down before, but they're back now. So anyway, we've got some funny tweets from Fizz about it. So he says, Rocket Pool reached out and asked me to sound the alarm about a scam product using their likeness, but I love the product so much I bought it in. He says, this is a joke. I'd share the domain, but a bunch of noobs were YOLO in, RIP. And he says, these look like a bunch of dudes I'd love to chill and have a few beers with. So handsome and distinguished. Such legit. So let's have a look. Here are the dudes. So David Granzian is the founder and CTO, sorry. And that is a picture of Maverick. And then we have Darren Thompson, that's a picture of Dave, Martin Wallman instead of Kane Wallman, Nick Doherty with a picture of Joe, Jerry Clappis with a picture of Nick, and Andrew Watchell with a picture of Darren. So Paul Grant doesn't make the cut. I guess they stole these pictures before Grant joined the team. But what's really funny is how a whole bunch of these photos have been photoshopped and airbrushed, but Fizz goes to say, trying to get in touch with these devs regarding a potential airdrop. I hear it's going to be juicy. This is a scam product, but I'm effing in love with the screenshot. They're like, Nick Doherty is already a good scam name, we better not F with that one. And then this one's Fizz's favorite. He says, Martin Wallman will 100% steal your partner, no questions asked. And then there was a comment from Darren when he was talking about how let me see if I can find it, about stealing his airbrushing his photo. He says, Darren says, not sure whether I'm more upset that they stole my profile or they had to airbrush it. And Fizz says you can win against the scammers by using their professional airbrush art for free. So we've covered this on Rocket Fuel before. At that time there were different names, but they used airbrush photos back then as well. So please, as always, stay aware, stay diligent, that there are a whole lot of scams out there. Please don't get caught up in that. I know that you guys are way too smart to get caught up in like fake Rocket Pool stuff, but spreading the word about this stuff is really important, and if we can have the website taken down, that would be even better. Okay, next, there were some users who had issues with their Grafana in the previous update because, the Linux Grafana dashboard had a problem with Docker. So people were saying that, you should hold Docker to update your smart node stack, but not impact your Grafana. Well, here we had Atomic Whale who tried to update to version 1.1.10 or 110. I'm learning how to say it now. But they were having issues because they couldn't, their Docker was put on hold. So they'd have to, if you are in that situation, you'd have to restart your Docker in order to install 1.10. I know that it's kind of annoying for people like, to turn it off, turn it back on, all that kind of stuff. Well, that will be no more, because here we had an update from Yorick, who says 24.0.5 is the Docker version is out and it fixes the compose bug. So if anyone had that bug with their Grafana before and getting it all to display, and they had to hold their Docker, you don't have to do that anymore. Just update to the latest versions of the software and everything should be good for you. So that's nice to see. Okay, this really cool thing happened yesterday that Joe shared in trading. So this stemmed a few days ago where Lee was talking about the Diva tokens that a whole bunch of node operators have on their nodes, and he was talking about what the safest way to get that off your node wallet is. So I explained to Lee that the best way to get it off your node wallet is to basically, the way to do it is put in your node wallet mnemonic into a hardware wallet and load up the keys there, and then you can interact with it like using, like MetaMask through Ledger or something like that. I said to him that a slightly safer version of that would be like, keep the tokens in there for as long as you're staking. Eventually, when you stop staking, at that point, what you can do is, withdraw all your ETH, withdraw all your RPL. So the only things, well, not all your ETH, a little bit left for gas, but the only thing left in there would be like your Diva tokens, and then you'd be able to put the keys into a wallet and get them out. And I said the reason why that was because there was no functionality in the smart node stack to remove tokens that are not either RPL or ETH, and basically that'll just be stuck there. Well, I talked to Joe about it really briefly, and Joe talked to Kane, and then he implemented this withdrawal. So you now can send tokens out of your node wallet and send them to any particular wallet that you want. So here, the way that you do it is you enter the code, and the command, and then you enter the contract of the protocol that you interact with, the token, and then you enter the address that you want to send that token to. So here Joe is putting the BNB, I think, address of BNB, the contract address of BNB, and he wants to send it to the Ethereum burn address. And he says, are you sure you want to send one BNB to the burn address? This action cannot be undone, yes or no. And then you can choose to pay the gas, etc. And then it sends it. And this, of course, is a transaction on Gurley, but it'll work the same way on mainnet. There are a couple of things that you need to pay attention to. The first is that, you can send this to any address, not just your withdrawal address. And the second thing is, like, this is just for arbitrary ERC20s. It's not for your RPL or ETH. So Joe here says, fun fact, some of them revert if you try to do them because they're scams. So what happens is, like, certain tokens, if you try to interact with them, they don't work because they're a scam. So Joe already came across some of that stuff, which is interesting to see. And then later he said that, it won't work for RPL or ETH. And he says, Kane suggests I throw a disclaimer in there so people don't accidentally send RPL or something. And he says, I'll clean that up. But here you go. So it's really nice that Joe's added this functionality. And if we get any future airdrops that come to RPL holders, node operators, Rocket Pool node operators, then we'll be able to withdraw those airdrops. Of course, when it comes to actually claiming the airdrop, at that point, you will either need to enter your node keys into a hardware wallet, and if you can't do that, then you'll have to. If there's a service like Earnify, you might be able to use that instead, but most likely, you'll have to use your node wallet keys at that point to claim the airdrop. Well, okay, so the way airdrops used to work is that the tokens used to magically appear in your wallet, right? That was how airdrops used to work. And then at some point in the last couple of years, airdrops started working that, you'd have to interact with the contract yourself, whether through a front end or through, the contract directly, and then claim your tokens and send them to your wallet. So that wasn't really an airdrop, it was claiming. So if you have to claim the tokens that you're being allocated as a node operator, then you'll have to use your keys. If the tokens are just sent to your wallet, like to your node, then that's more like legitimate airdrop, I guess, or traditional airdrop. And for that, you can use this new command to get the tokens off your wallet. So that's definitely something to pay attention to if you are at all want to do anything with your Diva tokens, because most of the people who listen to Rocket Fuel are stakers on Rocket Pool, and we all got 12,000 Diva tokens. At the moment, they're not worth much, but eventually they might be worth something. So definitely keep that in mind, because you can just get those tokens off your wallet now, which is really cool. So thank you, Joe, for implementing that. Okay, so we talk about new rETH getting minted quite frequently. We had that Nexus Mutual swap that happened last week that minted a really beautiful amount of rETH. Sometimes, however, people burn their rETH for whatever reason. So here we had this whale, 0x390C, whatever, who burned 6,600 rETH for 7,115 ETH. So they just burned a whole lot of rETH. Let's see how that impacts the amount of rETH that we have. If you have a look at the chart here, you can see that it barely registers as a dip, but it definitely is a dip because we were about to reach 500,000, but now we're back down to 482,000. And of course, these last few days the deposit pool's been really slow. So as you can see, we've been, other than the 14,000 deposit that we had, obviously it's been 723, 242, 477, 222, and of course that's not including the burn. That's just including ETH deposited into the deposit pool for mints. But that it's definitely been well, it looks like this week might be a negative week going forwards. Although actually we should be able to hit 7,000 because we hit 5,000 a few weeks ago. But maybe, I don't know, it's gonna be touch and go whether this is a positive or negative week. But we'll see how all that goes. But yeah, burns happen sometimes, but for the most part, as you can see here, the rETH amount is kind of like up and to the right. It's really amazing that just before the deposit pool size increased, we were at 217,000 rETH, and now we're about to push 500,000 rETH. So I know that growth has slowed down a little bit, and we're not getting those like amazing numbers anymore. But when you look at the fact that the deposit pool would frequently have months of under, let me show you, like months of under 5,000, like 5,700 over here in a whole month, and like that was the worst month that we ever had. But like we're having weeks that are better than that, like pretty much every week since April has been better than that. So the growth is still happening, but hopefully it speeds up a little bit. Okay, next we had this really interesting comment where there was some discussion going on about like when you should or shouldn't top up your stake to get to 150%, because here there was this screenshot shared, or get to 10% even, screenshot shared about like the number of people who are under the 10% on their RPL collateral amounts, and of course because of that they won't be getting any rewards. And what's happened is that the question is like, when do you top up that amount so you can get your rewards for that month? So there was a bit of a discussion going on, and Rocket Doc said if you're neutral or bearish in RPL long term, then just ignore the fact that you won't get rewards that month. All you'll miss out is that month's rewards being under 10%, or any month where you're under 10%. And then Rocket Dog goes on to say, if you're bullish on the RPL ratio versus ETH longer term, then accumulating an appreciating asset would probably be a good thing. There's no rush to make a decision. Each month the rewards are snapshot prior to the period ending. So if you're neutral or bearish, then who cares if you don't get some RPL 1 month? And then the question was, for getting rewards, do I need to be more than 10% for the whole month, or is it just given rewards at a specific period, aka I just need to top up before the reward? So then Noshua replied by saying, the ODAO reports a 12-hour twap of RPL every 19.2 hours to the smart contracts. Every 28 days, there's a snapshot where they look at the price and calculate rewards purely based on that price at that moment in time. So every rewards period, there's a window of time between 0 and 19.2 hours before the snapshot where you know the exact amount of RPL needed to be above 10%. And if you stake in that window, then you'll receive the full rewards. And then Vitalik Boulder says, can you be more specific, please? I'm not sure. Says, sure, not sure what part is not specific enough for you. And Vitalik Boulder says, what's 19.2 hours in seconds? So Noshua gives us a really, really good detailed answer here. And of course, trading being trading, we have to kind of like joke around with that. But Abel says, so in any case, no need to buy now. I'm thinking that it should take into account the time spent during the month when you're above 10%, not a snapshot. That's what he was thinking. And since it's my first mini pool will be active tonight, I thought I needed to act now. Thank you, folks. So Noshua then ran when, and the next rewards period will take place overnight on August 2nd, morning of August 3rd, depending on where you are in the world. And that's in 9 days' time. Industrial says that's when the snapshot happens, so you need to decide a few hours before that. And Vitalik Bouldering, of course, says and in seconds. So yeah, basically that's good advice for any of you all who are listening to this. Is if you make sure that your collateral is up to 10%, then you'll get rewards for the next period, and you should be okay. For some people that might mean adding some RPL. For other people that might mean you just ride it out this month, and there'll be more rewards for the rest of us, because it'll get divided out instead of between us instead. Okay, and next I'm going to finish with some updates that Pancake Swap had to their pools for Rocket Pool ecosystem tokens. So here they say a new and larger RPL syrup pool is now live on ETH Pancake Swap. Stake Cake to earn RPL. So how does this work? I'm not really sure. However, there's a syrup pool, so it says just stake some tokens to earn high APR, low risk. So here they have Cake Stake to earn RPL, where you can put your Cake tokens in there. The current APR is 1,761%. There's only 18,000 Cake in there, so I guess the more Cake that comes into there, that amount is going to go down really quickly. But you can see that the rewards will be active for the next 27 days, and if you stake your Cake, then you can earn some really nice RPL rewards on that. They also have this pool where they say earn Cake from our upgraded rETH farm and our rETH BTC farm on ETH Pancake Swap, all while earning ETH staking rewards. So what happened is they retweaked some of their numbers, and there's different multipliers in place now, where the rETH liquidity position gives you an APR of around 11%, and the stake liquidity is 6,750,000 of those tokens. There's a multiply here of 420. I'm not sure exactly how the multiplier works. It says farm Cake per second, and then total multipliers. It says the farm multiplier represents a proportion of Cake rewards each farm receives as a proportion of its farm group. For example, if a 1x farm receives 1 Cake per block, a 40x farm would receive 40 Cake per block. So this one's receiving like 420 times the normal Cake, so there's a big multiplier there. And then, but it doesn't really add up that much more in terms of the APR, because if you have a look at the Bitcoin rETH pair that they have here, that's got a 8.76 APR reward. The multiplier is only 15 times, and the stake liquidity that they have is $407,000 worth of crypto in there. So please be careful interacting with any of these DeFi protocols. There's risk, smart contract risk, rug risk, all of that kind of stuff. So please be careful when you do any kind of interactions with these DeFi protocols. It's possible that you can lose everything that you put in. So with that note, this RPL pool, this Cake stake looks juicy, like especially for the first few days, I guess. The max stake you can do is 500 Cake, so I don't know how much that works out to be. I don't really follow the Cake ecosystem, but yeah, if you're interested in doing that, you're welcome to. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to end today's episode. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you for watching, listening, and following along with Rocket Fuel, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.